Hey there, it's Anthony Metivier from MagneticMemoryMethod.com. I'm going to explain what this is all about in a second. I'm going to show you why this graph is the most important graph in the world if you ever have had doubts in your mind about using mnemonics for learning Chinese. Today is day 4 of the Chinese phrase challenge using mnemonics to learn phrases, and we'll get into unpacking how this can help you learn one of the most important questions you might want to ask people as you learn and remember and recall Chinese phrases on your journey towards fluency. That's coming right up. Before we get to this and the magic of this, I would love if you would do something real simple, real quick. Just hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to this channel. Hit the little bell there so you'll get notified when these challenge videos come out, and hit that like button too, because that helps me continue helping you with this material. Now, what's this all about? Well, here's the thing. I've been getting some feedback. This is only day 4, and some people have said, your Chinese sounds a little weird. Well, yes, it does. And that's because I'm learning it along with you, and I'm using mnemonics to help me get the sound and the meaning into memory. And you'll see that on day 3, and you'll see it on day 2, and you'll see it on day 1. So you're going to want to go back and go through those videos to see the images that I'm using for some of the most incredible phrases that you'll ever learn. And they're so important to have in your toolbox of conversation in Chinese, and already I'm just having a great time using them myself. But basically, you're only going to be able to practice pronunciation if you actually have the material in memory. You need to get it into your muscle memory, but you can't authentically get anything into muscle memory if you don't have it in your brain. So that's what this is all about, and that's what this graph is about, because I don't just use mnemonics, but I teach them, and I actually do the research, and I only do things that are scientific. I'm not interested in messing around, farting around, getting all fancy with fantasy. What I'm interested in is raw data. And so this is very, very compelling and interesting. It comes from a study called The Effects of Visual and Verbal Mnemonics on Learning Chinese Characters in Computer-Based Instruction. I'm going to tell you something. You don't really need this evidence in science, but it's still great that someone's gone out and done that, and that's Mai Liang, Amy Kwa Newhouse. And what this is telling us is that people who have no mnemonics whatsoever, they get about this rate of recall, which is pretty standard in the studies of learning. Low. People just don't remember that much. But when you get someone giving you mnemonics, which would be either visually or verbally, or dual, means both, delivered in both ways, then you're going to get a much higher rate of recall. But here's the thing. You get an even higher rate of recall, and the difference there is not extreme, but it is higher if you use self-generated mnemonics. And so what that means is you create your own. So I'm happy to share with you the images that I use, and they will help you. The science is all there, but you're going to get even more advantage if you're creating your own. So always be creating your own. The interesting thing here, though, that I find so wonderful and so profound, and what is immediately interesting to anybody, is this. These people who participate in these studies, and it's the problem with all the scientific studies, they don't care about Chinese. It's well outlined in the study. They are not Chinese students. They don't really care about it. They just are brought in for a study. So they get massive amounts of recall. But if you care about learning Chinese and you have a taste for mnemonics and you like them, then this advantage that you get here is like way over the top. And I often think, well, I'm going to get some money together to get some scientific studies running to demonstrate this. But really, you don't need to. You can look at the reviews of my books. People who care about languages that they want to learn and the advantages they get from the mnemonics when they create them themselves. It's way over the top. You can look at the records of the World Memory Championships going back 25 years. When people care about this stuff, they have advantages way over the top, and those are all self-generated mnemonics, because you don't get any mnemonics when you sit in competition. No one gives them to you. You have to create them yourselves. So if you want immediate recall advantages, and delayed test means that the recall was tested later, those advantages are there for you if you create your own mnemonics and you link that to something you're passionate about. And right now, I'm certainly passionate about Chinese. So if you'll just forgive my pronunciation as I'm learning it with you authentically on this journey, and I hope it doesn't hurt your ears too much. Let's get started with our day 4 example, which is this lovely little image right here that I put together for myself, which is going to have an advantage because I did it for myself, and I hope that you will do it for yourself as well. So let's throw on our pinyin here just to help a little bit. We've got our Karate Kid character again, and now we've got something extra, which is something new in our series, which is She-Ra. Now, why would we have She-Ra here? Well, because she sound. We want to remember that she sound. And so we have Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is not a one-to-one correspondence for Huan, but it's very helpful. So Ni Shi Huan, do you like? And then we have Ni, and De is like a possessive particle, but we have Homer, and Do that he says is not a one-to-one correspondence with De. You would probably come up with something that makes more sense for you. I'm actually thinking, when I think about Homer doing his Do thing of like duh, right, to help with that sound. And then if you remember our day 3 challenge, then you know what's going on with the gong sua, and you now probably remember Shania Twain from the previous days on her horse, right? And I told you we were going to start incorporating the characters. Well, now we've got the character, and you can see that there's a reason why her on a horse would help with this ma sound and the whole thing of having an actual horse, because doesn't that look sort of like a horse? Well, that is the question particle. So when you put this all together, ni shi huan, ni de gong su ma. Well, again, my pronunciation may not be perfect there, and I am working on it, but I just spoke with my father-in-law the other day, and he understood pretty good what I was saying. It was cool, too, because I've come to learn so much that I understood him saying that my mother-in-law is sick, and I was able to say, oh, she's sick, what is she sick with, and so forth. And I just had to repeat myself one time in order for him to get it. So if you're ever frustrated with your pronunciation and so forth, don't. Just keep practicing and, put yourself on the spot. Make some YouTube videos about it. It'll really help because people will give you feedback. So, ni shi huan, ni de gong zuo ma. What does this mean? Well, it means you like your job, question, particle. So it's a question. Do you like your job? Now, isn't that a great question to have in your toolbox so that you can engage authentically with people and just get some interesting answers? It certainly is. And if you'd like to get answers from native Chinese speakers, well, there's something really, really special that you can get, and that is the Chinese Vault, the real spoken Chinese Vault from Mandarin HQ. And what you see here is you get this question again and again and again, 6 times, and then you get 6 different answers that you can study. You can also remember them as well. And you get a beginner level, you get elementary level, and then you get intermediate level, and it's all really, really amazing what happens. And you can control these people. I mean, control not in a negative sense, but you just press that as many times as you want. If you want to hear this speaker saying that question again and again and again, and this one again and again and again, you can press it as many times as you want, and then you can press the answers as many times as you want, and you can go ahead and spell these words out for yourself, or you can look at the pinyin, and you can look at the characters, and you progress through the lessons very, very nicely. And if you want to get some special bonuses when you grab the Real Spoken Chinese Vault, then go to magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese. YT Chinese is YouTube Chinese, and that's going to give you a number of benefits. The real benefit is that it's real Chinese that you're exposed to. So it's not the textbook stuff where you just get standard ways of speaking that no one's really using. You're going to get several different examples, and you're able to repeat them as many times as you want. They're like little zombies in a way. Do, and they say it as much as you want them to in a natural speed. They do it in a way that's connected. And actually, this is a really interesting example because you'll hear that the second ni in this particular phrase that we've been learning today is a little bit differently expressed by some of the people, but not all of them. So it's almost like a n sound, this second ni here, and it's really, really interesting. So if we look at that with the pinyin, it almost is not a ni, but a nd. So that's something that could throw you if you get out in the real world and you're, oh, what? And you haven't encountered it before. But if you have Chinese native speakers at your beck and call and you can study different variations, then you're going to be much more prepared for speaking. And to help you out even further, when you grab this training with my link, magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese, then you're also going to get access to my private secret group. And what's cool about it is you can actually search it and see the different images and so forth that I'm sharing in this video series. But even more important than that, you get access to the Real Spoken Chinese Vault with the magnetic memory method for placing these images in a memory palace, and to make sure that you really have the additional training and really understand the memory palace component. You also get the Memorized Chinese Poetry little course, mini course that I created, and I want you to have a sense of how to memorize the tones. Now again, you got to practice the speaking, which I don't have any special technique for except for just getting out there and practicing. Well, actually I do have some special ideas about how you can prompt yourself to do it, and to do it regularly enough that you get an effect, and that's in something called the Ultimate Language Learning Secret, which I also want to give you if you use this link to join the Real Spoken Chinese Vault. So that's magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese. And then of course, I want to give you tone control so that you can remember what the tones are. It's a real simple little technique. You can pick it up very, very fast, and it will aid you when you do your pronunciation practice. And I'm going to be writing all this in a book, and the people who are on the list when this book is released, they're going to get an advanced copy PDF, and it's going to be really, really awesome. So listen, if you're interested in making a deal and getting these extra bonuses, then I encourage you to go to magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese. People are already piling in there and just checking it out, grabbing it, and it's just going to be so much fun as you go along with us. And I'm going to keep on doing this because I'm learning Chinese. I'm learning Chinese with you, and all the science in the world works in the favor of, if you really, really want to get this stuff into your memory, well, look, it's just obvious as daylight that you can get benefit from looking at other people's mnemonics, but you get the most benefit from learning to create your own, and that's what I want to teach you to do. And the only problem that you'll ever face is that you might hurt somebody's ears while you're practicing, but you know what? That's no problem, because when you have the Ultimate Language Learning Secret, I show you how to find people who are more than happy to listen to you speak as you learn, and they will help you. They will correct you, and before you know it, you will be speaking real Chinese, and it can happen a lot faster than you'd ever imagine. So if you want all these bonuses, a group of people who care about memory techniques, who really want to learn Chinese, you want to hang around and be able to search all my mnemonics, that's there for you as a special bonus. If you want the Real Spoken Chinese Vault training that I created to show you how to put it in a memory palace, if you want an additional training to show how you how to do this more memory palace work with actual poetry and one of my favorite poems as an example, if you want the Ultimate Language Learning Secret, if you want to get the book version of all this when it comes out, then you definitely want to be heading over to magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese. Let's make a deal, and you got it. So thanks for watching this channel. I really, really appreciate it. If you haven't gone through previous videos in the challenge, then make sure that you're subscribed and hit that like button for me, because again, that helps me continue helping you. And this again, one more time, is the link to visit magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And until we speak again, keep yourself magnetic.